All right, let's get right into it. Think of this as a war room briefing on a critical business pivot, choosing cash flow over profit margin. Now, cash flow, or liquidity, that's the actual cash moving in and out of your business. It's not just important, it's the oxygen. See, profit is the goal, sure, but liquidity, that's what keeps you alive to fight another day. This is all about a strategic move to win the entire war, not just one single glorious battle.
So let me ask you this, and be honest. Are you paper rich but cash poor? Does your profit and loss statement say you're absolutely crushing it, but your bank account is screaming that you're about to go under? This, my friend, is the classic trap. You know, quoting a job for, say, $14,000 looks fantastic on a spreadsheet, but that potential profit doesn't pay the truck insurance that's due right now. This is the exact spot where countless otherwise successful businesses die.
And look, if you're feeling that pinch from overdue invoices, you are so not alone. A staggering 68% of companies say that late payments are a major cause of their cash flow problems. This isn't some personal failing on your part, it's a systemic issue, and you need a rock-solid strategy to deal with it.
And for a lot of businesses, this battle is fought completely uphill. In certain sectors, that gap between when you do the work and when you actually get paid, it's not a gap, it's a chasm. It's not just a problem, it's the defining challenge of the entire industry.
I mean, just take construction, for example. The average payment cycle is 83 days. That's almost 3 months from the time you finish the job to when you see a dime of that money. That 83-day gap is an absolute kill zone for liquidity. It's the perfect storm where a profitable company can go bankrupt just waiting to get paid.
So, to win this fight, you need solid intelligence. And it all starts with understanding the fundamental difference between cash in your hand and profit on your spreadsheet. Because let me tell you, they are not the same thing.
Okay, so how can you be profitable but totally broke? It's right here, under what's called the accrual basis, which most growing companies use. You record income the second you earn it. You send an invoice, boom, that's revenue on the books. But under the cash basis, you only record income when the money actually hits your bank account. You see the difference? Accrual shows you your profitability, but cash shows you your survivability. You absolutely need to know both.
All right, with our intelligence gathered, it is time to go on offense. These are not passive, wait-and-see strategies. No, these are aggressive plays designed to accelerate your cash intake and close that deadly gap.
Here is a key psychological weapon for your arsenal. You can add a surcharge for card payments, or you can offer a discount for cash. Now, mathematically, they're identical, right? But the perception is completely different. A surcharge feels like a penalty. It's a negative experience. But a cash discount, well, that feels like a reward. It positively reinforces the exact behavior you want, which is getting paid right now.
But what if you're in a real crunch? What if you needed liquidity like yesterday? Well, sometimes you've got to pull a higher risk, higher reward lever.
This is a tool called accounts receivable factoring. In the simplest terms, you're selling your unpaid invoices to a third-party company at a discount. Now, you don't get the full amount, but you get a huge percentage of it immediately. It's a direct trade. You're sacrificing some future profit for mission-critical cash today. So the crucial thing here is understanding the trade-off. The pros are obvious. You get immediate cash flow. Your liquidity problem is solved right now. But the cons, they're significant. You lose a percentage of your revenue to fees, and you risk damaging customer relationships if that factoring company gets aggressive with collections. It's a really powerful tool, for sure, but there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Offense is great, but a solid defense wins championships. So now let's talk about building a resilient system, a fortress really, that prevents these cash flow crises from ever happening in the first place.
Your first line of defense is the perfect invoice. Any little inconsistency, any confusion, is just an invitation for them to delay payment. It needs to be standardized with every single key detail, a unique invoice number, crystal clear due dates, detailed descriptions. You want to leave zero room for questions or excuses.
Next up is your reminder system. And look, this can't be random. It has to be a disciplined, escalating process. You start with a courtesy reminder before the due date. Then you escalate methodically. The tone gets a little firmer, the communication more direct. This isn't about being annoying, it's about being professional. It shows you're serious about getting paid.
So you've built the system, you've set the rules. But what happens when a unique opportunity comes along? This is where high-level strategy kicks in. You see, rules are for day-to-day operations. As the leader, your job is to know when to make a strategic exception. This is the CEO's override.
This quote just says it all. My rule for the team might be never go below X dollars per square foot. That's the law. But without governance, that pricing strategy just becomes a suggestion. The CEO's override isn't a loophole for ignoring the rules. It's a strategic tool used with intention for a very clear and compelling reason.
So how do you manage it? Well, you need a process. First, awareness. Why are these overrides even happening? Was it, say, February, and the phone wasn't ringing but your overhead was still due? That's market relevance. Second, you set a policy. Who has the authority to make an exception and under what exact conditions? Maybe it's a deal with zero marketing cost and an immediate start date. And finally, training. Empower your team to sell on value, so price becomes less of a factor to begin with.
And here's a really critical rule of thumb. Price overrides have to be the exception, not the rule. If more than 20% of your transactions involve an override, that's a massive red flag. It's a sign that your core pricing strategy is broken and needs to be fixed, not just bypassed all the time.
Okay, let's bring all this together. Business is not about maximizing profit on every single transaction. It's about staying in the game long enough to build something that actually lasts. Survival is the foundation of thriving.
And this right here is the core lesson. Holding out for your full price when you have bills to pay and payroll to meet, that's not strength, that's ego. And ego has no place in a cash flow statement.
Making that tough call, slashing a price to get cash in the door, that is not failure. It's a strategic pivot. That cash greases the gears. It buys materials for the next job. It's the move that lets you pay your suppliers, keep your best people, and seize the next big opportunity. It's all about living to fight another day.
So I'll leave you with this question. And this isn't some theoretical exercise. I want you to look at your business right now. Look at your cash position. What's the one strategic move you can make this week, not next month, this week, to improve your liquidity and make sure you stay in the game?